What makes Back to the Future so timeless? The movie's 40 years old now. Why can we watch it today and enjoy it as much as they did 40 years ago? The answer is simple. It's all in the writing.
That's the power of love.
I'm writer-producer Trader Bubba, and today we're here to discuss one of my all-time favorite movies that completely broke and rebuilt the Hollywood studio system.
The perfect title for the movie, Spaceman from Pluto.
We can't call this movie that name.
Well, I'm obviously talking about the movie Back to the Future. I'm writer-producer Trader Bubba. This here's Cousin Emmy, and this is Bubba Breaks Sci-Fi.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
Whoa. Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream?
So say we all.
Your father was captain of a starship for 12 minutes. He saved 800 lives.
Engage.
You have to understand that Hollywood loves to put movies in a nice, clean little box with a nice, clear label on it. Comedy, action, drama, horror. Back to the Future came out and completely said, no labels, we're going to have a little bit of everything. It is a comedy adventure film with a classic sci-fi trope. Here's a great article from 2015. Today, Back to the Future would be a Hollywood laughingstock until it hit Netflix. And this is so true. The pitch for Back to the Future is crazy. A teenage boy is sent back in time to meet his parents as teenagers. Back to the Future shows that you can mix comedy with action and a hint of sci-fi in a way that we hadn't seen since, quite frankly, a year prior with Ghostbusters. This was the new modern day blockbuster. I'm not going to sit here and rehash the plot to Back to the Future. I'm assuming you've seen this movie as many times as I have. It is such a classic. But the effect on me as a writer and the effect on the industry never gets talked about because it really is a double-edged sword. See, when Back to the Future came out, it was part of this new wave of what we now call blockbusters. A lot of people give Steven Spielberg credit for building the modern-day blockbuster with his classic 70s film Jaws. Really, we didn't start seeing blockbusters as we know it, as these big summer tentpole event films until like Raiders of the Lost Ark came out in their early 80s. And then we had films like Ghostbusters come out in 84. And then in 1985, we got Back to the Future.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
In my Ghostbusters film, I really touch on that fine line between comedy and horror, which that film does so masterfully. And in this film, it's comedy with adventure. I don't want to say action, but that real adventure film. Not much different from Indiana Jones. I mean, look at Back to the Future 1, really, with like a fresh pair of eyes. Forget the sequels, right? Because again, in the sequels, there's always going to be updates to the studio realizing who the audience is, which in this case, again, is going to be kids. But if you go back to the Future 1, there's massive gun shootouts with Libby ends, and but if you look at Back to the Future 1, it's such a beautifully simple premise. Act 1, we meet Doc and Marty, and there's this accident to where Marty gets sent back in time to 1955 when his parents were his age, and now he's got to find a way back. And this is what Hollywood hates today, even more than back then. They hate when you can't clearly label and define something because it makes it harder to market. What I also love about Back to the Future is that this movie was rejected like 40 times by different studios and production companies. This was not a flash in the pan. Hey, we love your idea, get it made. I'm going through this right now on some projects. I have had meetings and phone calls and emails with every player in town, but I believe in my project so much, and the people around me believe in it so much. They're not willing to just throw in the towel. We're going to keep plugging along, and Back to the Future had to do that. Back to the Future also captured lightning in a bottle because of the time and place in which it was created. The 80s were a special time, a unique time that will probably never come again, and it really captures the essence of that time. Bob Gale, the writer of Back to the Future, states in his commentary, which you can watch with the film on DVD or Blu-ray, he actually doesn't like the ending of Back to the Future. He believes it gives it a sort of a bad message because Marty's life is improved simply because his parents have money now. And that seems to be the takeaway if you go back and revisit the ending of the Back to the Future. I think he's being a little hard on himself. Is it better because he has money? Yeah. But it's not just that. I think they do a pretty good job of showing that his parents are healthier, with a better relationship. And it's that confidence, that newfound confidence that George McFly has that has really changed their life more than just the ability to earn money. But I get it. It can easily come off as
greed is good.
When I hit 1,000 subs, I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and giving away this. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain shirt. If you don't feel like waiting, the shirt's available at traderbubba.com. Proceeds go to charity. Right now, proceeds will be going to the support Cousin Emmy's family through medical crisis GoFundMe. For more information, click the link down below. traderbubba.com. Discount code in the description.
Hello. Good luck with the giveaway. Mwah. Bye.
It also seems fitting because we actually just lost a great actor this year. James Tolkan from Back to the Future, Top Gun, he died in March of this year at the age of 94. He's one of those classic actors that shows up in these like 80s and early 90s films, and you're like, oh, I love this guy. Back to the Future is a film that I constantly bring up in development meetings or even pitch meetings sometimes when dealing with executives or creative people that aren't necessarily actual screenwriters, because the structure of Back to the Future is so perfect. The first act, the pacing is beautiful. We meet Marty, we meet Doc, and bam, Bob's your uncle. We see that Marty's in school. There's a quick seed planting with the clock tower and his girlfriend. This is all stuff that's going to pay off later. And this is moving. This is great pacing because within like less than 20 minutes, we're at the Twin Pines Mall, or is it Lone Pine Mall? No, it's Twin Pines in the beginning. It gets turned into Lone Pine Mall. Anyway, we're at the mall where we finally get to meet Doc in person, and the DeLorean is introduced. There's a fun little scene where he gets sent back, the dog gets sent back in time, and we're very quickly introduced to how this universe works and with the sci-fi trope. It's a car, it gets to go back in time, it has to hit 88 miles per hour. End of story. And that little universe rule is important because obviously when he goes back in time, we have to know that he has to hit 88 miles per hour in order to time travel. What's crazy about the original, and a lot of people forget this, is Doc actually dies in the first movie. He gets shot and killed in the beginning of Back to the Future, and then Marty goes back in time, and in his time travel is able to leave him a warning and thus save Doc's life. I mean, there's so many fun little time travel tropes in here, but in the sequels, they would definitely have to pull that back a little bit. But I often bring up this movie again in development meetings because of the simple structure. The first act, boom. We go into the second act where Marty's sent back into 1955. The obstacles become very clear. He's got to find Doc, fix the car, and come back to 1985. And just so that the film isn't completely lost, because in every action adventure film, you need a hero and a villain. And this film almost didn't have a villain because the main conflict in this movie is that Marty accidentally screwed up the relationship between his parents and he has to fix it. But that can't be enough. There has to be a villain to impede the hero's journey and to cause conflict. And Biff is one of my all-time favorite movie villains. Why? Because he's intimidating without mustache twirliness. He's not over the top. He's not melodramatic. He's not, oh my God, cheesy. He is written and performed perfectly by the writers and actor Thomas Wilson. Every character, every moment in this movie plays to a specific beat. It has purpose. It has movement. And again, if you are a screenwriter, either new or old, never done it before, or been writing for years, this is the one movie you really need to study in terms of structure, pacing, and payoff. Look, Back to the Future changed Hollywood forever. It both pushed forward and helped create that summer blockbuster tentpole experience for Hollywood, And it's kind of also a double-edged sword because it also created the franchise. Back to the Future 1 was supposed to be a one-off movie. The big to be continued at the end didn't show up until VHS tapes after the sequel had been greenlit and sent into production. The ending of Back to the Future 1 was nothing more than a gag. It wasn't meant to set up any kind of franchise. They didn't even call these things franchise or IP back then. It was just a movie. And Hollywood has gotten away from that, unfortunately. They've become so desperate for ticket sales and so afraid to invest in anything new and original that something like Back to the Future will never be seen again. And they can never reboot or remake Back to the Future, at least probably not in our lifetimes, because Bob Gale won't allow it. And God bless him for that, because this movie is so classic, so great. There is no need for a sequel, which you can't do now anyway because of the age of the actors and whatnot. There's no need for a reboot because it would suck. Even if it was the best reboot in the history of cinema, it would still suck. It really taught me how to write fun, colorful characters, give every character a purpose, a unique voice. It really opened my eyes to really take a hard look at the script and look at pacing and structure. How necessary is this scene? How tight can we make the scene without taking away cinematic value while still maintaining purpose for this scene? Guys, I'm Trader Bob, but don't go away just yet. I got another video popping up right here, but first I got to do a special shout out to my amazing channel members. Thank you so much for all my supporters here on YouTube and on Patreon. Couldn't do this without you. If you want to join, hit that join button down below for exclusive videos. And don't go away just yet, because I got another video popping up right here, and this video is bound to give you the feelies.
Bye!